Hi. Today I record a video about Tshuva. Tshuva, it means Teshuva, to go back. It means when the person decides not to go back to the action he did wrong and to leave his sins. So there is one special case described in Talmud about Rabbi Eliezer ben Durdarian. After he repented, after he goes through deep inner changing, he he goes through deep understanding of what happened with him during his life, what he did wrong, and this deep understanding make his soul leave the body, and his Tshuva was accepted by Ashem, and he got Olam Haba, and after even he got we call him now Rabbi. What is the story? Shortly, there was a man who liked women so much, and he had relationships with almost every woman he met. And one time he heard about one very beautiful woman, and even she was taking like a high payment for her service. He went so far and find her, and when he was with her, she told him, the same with this breath that will never go back to the place he came from. Your Tshuva will never be accepted on Shamayim, never be accepted by Hashem. And he was so shocked by this phrase, and he moved out from the room. He go out and sit among the trees and start to ask the trees. He has the hills, he has the stars, he has the trees to ask Hashem to forgive him, and they say no, we're not going to do it. And then he understood that everything depends on him, and he cried so much his soul was screaming from outside. And this is what the deep changing he goes through, and the soul left the body. But it doesn't mean that we have to do bad things all our life and then decide at the end of the life, oh, I will tell sorry Hashem, I do wrong, and it was accepted. No way. So there is the second way, and the most valuable way. We call it Derech Haemet Ve'Yashar, the straight way, the right way. It's when during your life you do work on yourself to change yourself. After you decide to change yourself, you understand that you need to do something and not to go back to this. You go through the process and you correct it. It can be, of course, we have to study the book, the Torah, and all the holy books. We have to do mitzvahs, through the studying, it can be even kind of meditation and working on your mind and your thinking. And there are two ways that I study from Tanya, that this book I was already introduced you before. There are two ways they describe there. First is Tshuva Tata. It's like lowest Tshuva. It's like there are two ways. You have Tshuva Tata and Tshuva Ila, like the lowest Tshuva and the highest Tshuva. But it means like it's down or up. It means the one is less deep and the one is more deep. Like the one is less changing you go through, like it's not really it is Tshuva, but it's in different kind of level. So Tshuva Tata, the lowest Tshuva, is to smash, to conquer your clipot. Clipot, it's a word that in Tanya describes the layer that cover your soul. Because the Hashem give us soul that go inside the body. So that this the soul, it's him itself, the part of Ashem that the divine, and it's inside us. And when we do bad actions, or let's say actions that we shouldn't do, or the things, it's cover our soul with a lot of layers, like the clothes cover our body. So now I sit here, it's very warm, so I have one clothes. Then I put 1, 2, 3, I feel very hot, I feel not comfortable, I'm suffer, correct? So when we do these things, we cover our soul with these layers, and the soul is suffer. So how to start this process? We have to think, to go through the deep thinking about what influence it cost to our soul, to our body, after we did thing or any wrong action. And when you go through this process and you reach the point you're very ashamed about that, and you disgust about that, it means you break your clipot. You break your clipot, and plus your action that you, when the situation will happen again, and probably Hashem will send you situation just to check you, you will not repeat it. So if you repeat it, it means you're still in the same position, yeah. So the main thing is to understand it and not to do it again. And the second tshuva is tshuva ilah, is like more deepest one. It's more even harder to do it by this way. Like, it's not harder, you have to work even more, and yeah, you can say harder. It's when you awaken the mercy to the source of mercy. We call Makor Arachamim. It's mean to Ashem itself. Ashem is a father, the merciful father. We say Av Arachaman, or he's the one who have this midot, this character, Rachamim. He is the Makor of Rachamim. He is the source of the mercy. And when we wake this mercy to, first you wake this mercy to your neshama, to the divine in yourself. Because when you cover this layer, this clipot go around your soul, these bad actions and thinking, it's not only action, it's also thinking and actions. You reconnect yourself from Hashem, so you don't understand that it's all the divine presence inside you. You take it out, you reject it, and you feel like you separate from this. And in Tanya, this process described like this: the soul fall from the high roof, from this divine reality, to the deep hole, to the clipot, to the place of clipot, of this like dark place, and that's how you reconnect yourself. So you have to understand, it should go through your head, but this you have to think every day. You have to think about, see it 5 minutes, I don't know, imagine it, how it happened, like this big light, like imagine the sun. Hashem is the sun, and every day we got the warm, everybody feel this warm, and the light we see. And when one time the big cloud come and cover the sun, and it's so cold, and it's so uncomfortable feeling, and you feel sadness and things. The same with the soul. It's like this big sun covered with a big black cloud. And second is to awaken the mercy to Hashem itself. We say to the name of Hashem, because the name of Hashem, it describes how the energy He gives us, the divine energy, influence on this world, on what He created. And we say, and you will go back to Hashem, and He will be merciful to you. And there is one nice comparison in book Shir Shirim, the book of Song, written by Shlomo Melech, King Zalman. The book, if you start to read it, it seems like a book about love story, but it is a big metaphor. So he used this kind of comparison that our brain can understand, describe the relation of man and the Ashem. So, and this is the small part from it. Your head like caramel and strands of hair, and the king is captivated by this curly hair. So it's mean, he said, you have a nice curly hair like this hair, and there are a lot of hair. Look, we have it one by one, and they curly and they go around and like that, and the king like it. It's not mean like it, it's captured by this. What does it mean? This mean you're sinking. You have a lot of sinking when you do something wrong, and they cover one by one. It's so many, and you already don't know what is true, what is not true, and your head covered by this. So the king is Hashem, because we're part of him. He's inside us, divine presence inside us. So when you did wrong thing, how you understand you did wrong? First of all, you think about that. You suffer, but you're sinking. Or after you're tired, your body tired, you also feel the body tired, and you're stressed and you're sad. It means the divine presence inside you, but this thinking, instead of be concentrate on what you need to do, what he wants you to do here, to serve him, and plus to do your life, like you have family, you have children, whatever, you covered by this. Your brain is inside something else, so that make you suffer. Like this, you kind of reject him, reject the divine presence, and we called it exile of Shina. Shina is Ashem, it's his divine presence, Shina. Galuta Shina. So it's mean the Shekhinah, the divine presence, it's now not in the pure place, not in the pure place. It's captured by this clipot, but your bad thinking, but your bad action, and this energy is covered by many layers. So instead of what he give you, you observe it and give it to the world in a good way, like a sun give our light. You put you cover it with the black cloud, and it's covered, and it's give you this uncomfortable feeling. So this is how we describe it. And what is like divine presence, the light? There are two kind of. It's or makiv or savev kol almin. So it's divine presence, like the energy that sent to us to alive all everything. So in the same way, like a sun give us light to everybody, the same, we feel the warmth, we see the light. And there is or mimale kol almin. It's a divine presence that inside us, like inside the body. Human beings have more divine presence, because you see we talk, we speak, we think, and for example the stone on the earth also have divine presence, but it gives him divine presence to just exist, to be on the earth or on the hill, to make this pathway where we can walk, whatever. And at the end I would like to give some example how after we go back, after we make Tshuva, what's kind of going on with us, what the point. It's from Tehillim. It's small praise poems, kind of poems in English, we call it poems. Tehillim in Hebrew, that was written, most of them by David HaMelech, King David. He was loving the God very, very much, and he was inside his presence, and he was a big emunah, big face. And he write that you don't need our korbanot, you don't need our sacrifice that we bring, because before, when Bet HaMikdash exists, we bring korban according to things you did after you regret and you decide not to go back to it. You bring the temple or its lamb or the sheep, depend, and you give it to Kohanim. They were serving, they're doing this process for the people in the Bet HaMikdash, and by this Ashem know that you understand what you do. At least you make this move. You understand you have to change, and you want it, and you understand it. It goes through, and you bring this sacrifice. Instead of he take your divine presence, he take this lamb. He understand that you in the process. You change. You go through the deep changing, and you don't need our korbanot. You need our spirit, our soul. It means you don't want the kind of we bring it. This is the action to show that we're ready to change. We change, we think, we work on it. But your heart, your soul goes through the deep process, and that's what he needs. To awaken this mercy to your soul, to his name, understand what you did, not only to the soul, to yourself. Also, your action, you did, it's you make to yourself and the universe around. It means to him, he is the universe. We in his presence, right? So when we reject this, we cover it with many layers, like this big black cloud cover the sun. It's also you feel uncomfortable, but everywhere around you feel not good. It can be rain, it can be thunderstorm. It's destroy this flower, it destroy the animal. It's everybody suffers. So the same, your things, you did bad to yourself and you did bad to everywhere, and universe, to the universe. But he's the universe, he's the divine presence everywhere, as I described. The one, or like the light, it's makif, that for everybody, for us, and kind of another energy that goes through you, that give exactly the amount of the energy you need, this divine, to exist. So I hope my video, I try to describe as clear as I can, but if you don't understand that, you can find Tanya, you can find this part in Tanya. You can ask your Rabbi, you can buy this book in Amazon and in the bookshops, and just find this part and work on it. But I think this part is very important for people to understand, because Tshuva, again, Teshuva, to go back, it means you go back to Ashem, you go back to yourself. What does it mean go back to yourself? Because divine presence is inside you, the energy, the godness inside us. And when you do bad thing, you cover it. You start on kind of recognize yourself in the separate, like the solid subject, that like you're not with Hashem, you're here, I'm here, I'm the one who does the job, I'm the one who's so smart, and you forget this one he give you. So when you go back to Teshuva, it means you go back to yourself. You understand you're part of Hashem, you're part of Him, and what you did is you reconnect by this action, by these things, from yourself, but it means from the Hashem, from God, from your divine presence inside you, from Shekhinah, correct? So you reject it. So this is Galut Shekhinah. When you go back to yourself, you go back to Him. So you now, together with Him, you complete. And now to break all this clipot, sometime in some kind of, you can even create, give more this divine presence to outside yourself. So this is how it's happened. Is how I go through my process, because I also not perfect yet. I also did some things in the past, and I go through it. And the action I did, go back to me, reflect. It's happened with me the same, and by this pain, by this suffer, I understand what's it mean. And I did this process, and all the life it's a process on working on yourself. So it doesn't mean now you need to do it in 1 minute. You have to come, sit, think about that, and slowly but slowly. I have a book, and I write in the book what I want to do, what I want to correct, and then you work on it slowly. You always can ask your rabbi how to work on it, how it's written in Tanya, how it's written in Torah, how you do, like the people around you, because we think that the other people don't have the problem we have, but it's many people have the same problems, and it's repeated in every life. So we can just, we all messengers to each other. So you can, if you want, Hashem help you. First of all, you have to understand, you need to correct something, you need to change, ask him for help, Baruch Hashem, and do the work here. This is the thing, because we're in a body, in a material body, so we cannot only ask him for help. No, we have to do. So when do and think together, we complete, and we can go through this, and we can break these clipos, these bad layers around us, around divine presence, around our soul, and make everything better. I hope you like my lesson. It's not like a lesson. I always say lesson. The video, and it gives you something to think about. Bye. See you in my next video.